In this week's DOG, you're going to be looking at Washington, D.C., which is the capital of our nation. We're studying the Washington, D.C. DOG this week, even though it is actually week 23, because of the U.S. government that you've been working on for note-taking in the past couple of weeks. So the paragraphs at the beginning will do a good review of some of the key information about Washington, D.C. It explains that it is the District of Columbia, and it is between Maryland and Virginia. And I'll show you where that is on our picture of the map as well. It also gives you an important address here that you will need later, the address of the White House. The key vocabulary this week include capital and capital. These two words sound the same, they're spelled a little bit different. The first one ends with AL, the second one ends with OL. The first one is what we use when we say, oh, the capital of Maine is Augusta, or the capital of the United States is Washington, D.C. It's the city where the government is located. The second capital is the name of a building in Washington, D.C., and this building is where Congress works. That is the legislative branch. You'll see on the map there is a Capitol building, and it is on Capitol Hill. And Capitol Hill includes the Capitol building and a few other important buildings next to it. Also in the vocabulary, you have the DC stands for District of Columbia. Ellipse is a vocabulary word you'll need later, and National Mall is something you're going to see on the map. A little bit. All right, now we have our map of Washington, D.C. You'll see the inset map in the top corner has a map of the United States with a star where Washington, D.C. is, and it is located between Maryland and Virginia. And that was on purpose. They did not want Washington, D.C. to be part of any one state. They didn't want to give any state an advantage by having its capital. So Washington, D.C. is not in a state. It's between Maryland and Virginia. And this map shows some of the key landmarks. All of the landmarks are numbered, and the number is labeled down under the map. You also see a compass rose in the corner pointing in the direction of north. Some of the key pieces of information you will need to answer these questions. Over here, number 13, that is where the U.S. Capitol is. And the other buildings right next to it, this is the section of Capitol Hill. The National Mall is in the center, and that is actually a park. It is not a shopping mall. The buildings on either side of the National Mall are labeled museums. Down in this direction, we have the Washington Monument and the Reflecting Pool and the Lincoln Memorial. And then going further north from the Washington Monument, you have the Ellipse, which is a park area, and the White House. So the White House here is where the president works, where the president lives. That would be the executive branch. You have the Capitol building, number 13, which is where the legislative branch works. And then the Supreme Court will work in number 11. This is the judicial branch. If you have any further questions while you're working on your DOG, please send me an email. And please remember to use complete sentences when you answer the questions.